All right, happy Wednesday evening, everyone. Let's get into a crypto analysis. Hopefully you've seen my Forex one, which came out a few hours ago. Yeah, let's get into it. Bitcoin. Honestly, not a whole lot. We're just bouncing from supply and demand at this point. High time frame is bearish. Got some nice liquidity here, which looks like might get taken out at some point in the near future. We've got demand below us. So that's kind of it where we are now. It's just we're just in this awkward ranging period where we bounce between supply and demand, but overall we are in a bearish trend. Let's go USDT dominance. This accumulation is still looking like it will play out, at least in the time being. We've got demand below, which hasn't fully been mitigated, so that's something to, pay close attention to. But expectational order flow here is just a simple higher low for a higher high and complete the distribution. So that's what the plan is here. And yeah, and given we are expecting short-term lower for USDT, or not even short-term lower really, we're expecting USDT higher in the short term, so you'd expect alts to go lower in the short term. So just keep that, be aware of that, I guess. ETH is breaking through demand, which is what you expect, because as we've just said, we're expecting alts to go lower. And we're yet to bounce from this supply. Obviously BNB, we've charted up this high time frame distribution, which is looking really, really nice. Remains part of the plan. Nothing changes here. Quant, you can see here, we're running through. Demand is failing, showing signs of weakness. Is that better? Yeah. Honestly, we might not even come back up. At the rate we're moving down, I don't expect us to do this. It would be nice, but I don't think we will. Sol is also in a high time frame distribution. Just pay attention to that for now, similar to Quant. Same as Litecoin, once again. If anything, we've kind of already confirmed a very awkward looking Model 2, if you want to call that. Yeah, the taps are just too close to each other, but it's a version of extreme supply. You do still have supply above though, so similar cleanness, but nevertheless, I don't think this is gonna, I don't even know if we'll come get supply anytime soon. I feel like we might just continue going lower. So we will see what happens there. Doge from memory. Okay, Doge is sort of similar, but this is what is interesting. We are forming a potential accumulation, which is semi-pro context because you're expecting USDT to go lower in the very short term before it goes higher in the midterm. What I mean by that is, if we come back here, you're looking on the 2 hour time from here, I'm still expecting us to go lower into this demand and then potentially break structure up. And that also means very short term, we expect alts to go up a little bit. Meaning that if we can come into this very local demand and leave behind a nice return to zone like so, and break structure, then I can obviously long this with the purpose of the accumulation being to create the third tap of our higher time frame distribution. And then obviously, if you do remember, there is a beautiful, beautiful return to zone here for Doge. So yeah, this could be a nice, local accumulation in order to create a tap 3 of a high time frame distribution. So we will see what happens here. And yeah, so far a fairly decent looking return to zone, if I'm to be completely honest. That's not it. Yeah, like this is a really, really clean. So we've got our alert set, and once again, just the way this is looking and the rate it's moving down, I do feel like I'll be asleep when this confirms. If we get something like this, oh, maybe I'll borderline be awake 7. If it comes down quick and we get some sort of, like 4:30, but it's definitely a case of checking this pair as soon as I wake up, and given that, we move it to the top of the list. All right, XRP. We had a similar plan, but this has failed. Yeah, that is no longer of interest to us. Hype, not a whole lot happening at the moment. I feel like, yeah, we're just slowly making our way to this liquidity target, and then we're probably going to sweep it and move back down. We're on a daily uptrend. That is technically, are we on? Yeah, technically we're on a daily downtrend. Yeah, because these are just internal. This is just internal market structure with our daily high being here. Oh, here, sorry. Actually, I stand corrected. I stand very corrected. Because this got wigged, we are actually on a... We're actually now on an uptrend, yeah. For now. So hype is on a daily uptrend. We'll see what happens. It's a very ugly, but it is somewhat of a... It's a very ugly model. Model 2 though. But you get what I'm trying to say. With your tab, I wouldn't take this ever, but tab 1, tab... Like a flow, tab 2. And then you got your return to zone like this. It's not clean. Like, it's just not clean. But food for thought there. You are in the premium of this higher time frame range, so just know that. Especially given the context of Bitcoin and USDT at the moment, USDT dominance. Fartcoin, not a whole lot at the moment that I'm interested in. XLM, we have this potential accumulation which has just been ran through. So that is also a no-go. With not a whole lot there happening for WIF. Yeah, not a whole lot at the moment happening in WIF. Toncoin. This range is no longer of interest for me. Pump Fund, not a whole lot happening. We are approaching supply. If anything, this could be a new range. Also knowing the context of crypto at the moment. Pepe. They could probably be a Pepe scalp here. Maybe. I'll tell you the one thing that I have found. It's always these random, like, decent looking ranges that you just find in the middle of nowhere. Not in the middle of nowhere, but like, you just find like randomly on a pair that end up giving you like the best results. Like there'll be this one range I've been looking at for, you know, for days, let's say. And then it either just never breaks structure where we want it to, or breaks structure and leaves behind liquidity. Like there'll always be a range that you watch for ages and then it just never gives you that final, you know, confirmation that you need. Whereas you might just have something random that you just find like 10 pairs down, like Pepe for example, and then it'll just come up slowly, mitigate this supply, come back down, and then just slowly come back up. Break of structure would be beautiful, and then it'll just give you this perfect move down. So there's these random pairs. So, but yeah, we'll wait and see what happens regardless. I just did have a notification, USD CHF. Let's jump to that real quick. Where are we? This to me counts as extreme liquidity, so if I get a nice break of structure, I'm going to take this. You guys might finally get a live trade on here, eh? But the break of structure, as always, is very, very important. There is some slight demand there, which isn't as there is a little bit of demand here, which I don't quite like. And this is the 2-minute market structure lower right here. But then you are entering right in demand, so we'll see what happens. Return to zone is beautiful. It's just, do we think that we're going to go higher? And I feel like there would be some sort of refined supply up here. So far, nothing's really standing out because this has been mitigated. This whole move's been, yeah, this has been mitigated. this has been mitigated. If anything, maybe in there. You can see everything here's been mitigated, so there's nothing really to, you know. Nothing stands out, even here, like that's been mitigated there. Like no supply here is clean. If anything, you have this, but I have a feeling that we have already, and not only that, but this doesn't actually grab anything, so it's just shit supply, to be honest. To be completely honest. Yeah. It's not. It's just not nice supply, man. Yeah, like it's just messy. It's Lionel Messi. Lionel. Look, if we do get a tap 3 in here, as much as this is messy supply, then this is like perfect. But I just don't think, price just doesn't have a reason to come up into this supply because there's nothing really, you know, it's not clean supply. Point being. But yeah, for now we'll leave that as is and see what happens. I'll tell you what, if, and you have demand as well. There's more demand forming. I don't like how it's leaving behind all this demand. I just don't like that. If I don't get an entry, I don't get an entry. It's that simple. Okay, where were we? We were at Pepe. Were we at Pepe? Yeah, we were at Pepe. Okay, Pepe can go a little bit up. It's Tau. Same, but different with Tau. Not a whole lot to look at here. Virtual, same thing. Nothing interests me here. XMR. XMR could be interesting. Could be quite interesting actually. And before anyone says anything, I did check and that is higher than this high, so that is valid. I actually don't mind this, to be honest. We've already swept extremes, that's for sure, so now you're kind of just waiting for that nice break of structure, but there might be demand below. Yeah, right there. And then you've even, it's not necessarily overlapping, but it is demand, like it is a valid demand. Mitigated. That's your 1 minute market structure, which isn't the cleanest, but Yeah, no real return to zone, so I wouldn't be taking any sort of... I would like this to get properly deviated. If I was to give like a... If I was to give like a play that I would like to see... given there is no return to zone, what I would like is we clearly sweep this high, so it's a clear model 1, come back in, mitigate demand, slowly come up to a certain point. Let's say that ideally there's some supply left, mitigate supply, break structure, enter on the break, stops above here, and we just short to de-risk here and pretty much like take out these lows. That would be the ideal game plan for XMR, but only time will tell, realistically. But yeah, we'll see what happens in terms of this 1 minute market structure low. We'll move XMR to the top, or thereabouts. I think we have now created our model 1. Perfect. Beautiful. Now it's just a matter of how low are we gonna, or how high are we gonna go. Render. We've swept the liquidity. Not a whole lot more going on at the moment for render. Cake. I feel like Cake's going to complete this, you know, move down eventually. It is a pro-distributed environment, so just be aware of that. We do have this local model, which I'm not the biggest fan of because it just keeps going lower. And then I wouldn't count this because we haven't deviated with that tap, so it's kind of just awkwardly, it's become way too extended. So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna remove it. The return to zone is nice, but it's just way too extended. And we still have some nice, really nice liquidity below, like really nice liquidity. Okay, Sui, not a whole lot happening at the moment. Asta, when is there anything happening with this pair? Not a whole lot happening with Asta. Link, no. Bitcoin Cash, still heaps of supply above. Trump just continues to leave supply behind. Because we've gone down so much. It's one of those things where we might have some form of relief back up, but there's just no return to zone locally that I like. So yeah, I'm not really a fan of this. XMR, is that our 1 minute? That is our 1 minute. What's happened here? Okay, not valid. But so far so good. This is pretty much what we said. We want an aggressive move down. leaving behind supply, mitigation of demand, slow move up to mitigate whatever supply was created in here, mitigate supply, and then we can enter on the break. So honestly, so far so good with XMR. And then this is the supply. So yeah, ideally first mitigate demand, then come up mitigate supply, and then break structure. If we don't get that, no entry. As simple as that. But yeah, so far it's a model 1, just not confirmed yet. Perfect. Alright, that is all I got for today. Very simple, very effective, very straight to the point market update. Keep an eye on XMR. Keep a very close eye on Doge here for this accumulation model. Once again, guys, if you're watching this, or if you've got the charts open, which I highly recommend you have the charts open as I'm going through this, chart up exactly how I have. Set your alerts, same as mine, and yeah, and then you should do well. I've just heard another notification go off, so I'm trying to see if it's a trading view. No, it's not. Okay, awesome. Thank you all for joining. Hope you've enjoyed the content today. If you haven't watched the Forex video, go watch that because there is a lot of gold in that as well. And yeah, I will catch you all on tomorrow's update. Peace.